I know what you're thinking. Watermelon swimming trunks, a shitty faded sweater pulled halfway up, a hairy chest, chain. I look like I sold cocaine in 1984 down Biscayne Avenue. But that's not what this story's about. Today we're going to talk about the worst magic article I've ever read. If you haven't guessed it already, this video happens to be sponsored by the Pigcake Magic Academy. $5 a month gets you 2 videos every single week going over card stuff, coin stuff. You have access to all the videos the moment you sign up. And also, you're automatically enrolled in the Piggybacker section, which is 2 additional tutorials about random stuff that I don't post anywhere else. That's 4 videos a week, $5 a month. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Salon Magazine is known for many things. Most notably, they're known for an article where they talked about a virtuous pedophile. Now, the article was in positive light about this particular individual who calls himself a virtuous pedophile, meaning that he's a pedophile with pedophilic thoughts, but does not act out like a typical pedophile, which to me just sounds like a shitty pedophile. I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it. Just look at Joe Biden. Speaking of pedophiles, they've also written an article about magic tricks. Now, in the full sense of disclosure here, the article was written in 2012, which is approximately 8 years ago. But here's the thing. All the information and the points brought up in the article are still true to this day. There's still things that are argued about, talked about. There's still things that could be questioned. So they're still relevant to this day. So the article could have very well been written yesterday, and it wouldn't have mattered. The name of the article is "The Internet Makes Magic Disappear," which is, by the way, a terrible fucking name for an article. I don't know why you would write a little bit of a full sentence. You maybe could have written a more catchy title, but instead you chose with a literal title, but I guess that's just me nitpicking. The article opens up with a little bit of an anecdote about his experience with magic and his father showing him a trick. Must be nice, with the story ending on his father telling him that a magician never reveals his secrets. So this is something that stuck with him. Now, a little bit deeper in the article, he talks about brick and mortar magic shops and the effect that they had when it came to, building up the lore of magic and making it this mysterious art. He mentioned specifically, more importantly, up until a decade ago, magic shops were the only places where magicians could teach eager teenagers like myself the right methods to produce ashen apparitions and more complicated tricks that inevitably follow. But then, the internet broke that monopoly. Today, any 10-year-old kid could type magic tricks onto Google and gain access either YouTube or other websites to the biggest trade secrets in a matter of minutes. He could watch a video or buy an expensive apparatus without leaving his house, seeing a live demonstration, or talking. Now, the author writes that like it's a bad thing. He writes it as if, wow, this is really going to lead to the downfall of magic, the fact that it's so readily available and anybody could be a magician. Even from early on in this article, I'm starting to pick up on little things. I think I know what's going on here. Even from just the first paragraph, the first little anecdote about his father showing him a card trick, him complaining as to how any 10-year-old kid could just look up anything they want on the internet and find it. I think I know what's going on. I think I know what's happening here. He's afraid that it's going to be too easy to become a magician, and that his little special superpower, his little thing that he has that's different than most people, which is that he could find your card in his pocket, well, everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to know. Anybody could be a magician, and guess what? You stop becoming special. And truth be told, magic is the only thing that makes you different than other people. You didn't pick up any other hobbies. You don't have any other skills. Magic is the only thing that you got. And you're afraid. You're afraid that somebody's going to look up, how does magician make card appear in pocket? And he's going to find a tutorial and he's going to learn how to do it himself. And your little special superpower doesn't become impressive anymore. So what's my suggestion? Get other hobbies. Learn other things. Embrace the magic. Love the magic. But understand that we're living in a different time period, buddy. We don't have to go to the store anymore. We could just get stuff delivered. And while I might like the ideas of a mall and I might like perusing through a Target every once in a while, if these brick and mortar magic shops don't embrace the incoming technologies, they're just going to fade away. It's called growing up. As a result, magic stores are slowly vanishing across America, with their gradual disappearance, as Jamie Ian Swiss, a leading card expert and magic historian recognized for his brilliant technique and for his outspoken column in Genie, a conjuring magazine, has argued, one of the foundations of this ancient art form is disappearing. Magic has always depended on the control of information, Swiss told me in an interview. When I was young, you had to hang around a magic shop and learn to ask and ask politely. You would approach a guy and he would tell you, well, show me what you're working on, kid. And you show him and he might say, let me help you out with that. Or let me show you something different than what you asked. I'm pretty sure in 2012 you could still video chat with people. I'm still sure in 2012 you have the ability to go to magic conventions and go to meetups where you could trade ideas back and forth in person and still learn on each other and build on your existing skill set. What it is that you have a bunch of these old traditional magicians that are so scared of change because they don't understand it. The biggest problem with DVD and YouTube exposure is that it's damaged the skill of learning through asking and has created the mistaken assumption, perhaps, that all knowledge and all wisdom is available to buy. And there's so much difference between those two acts because asking involves human experience, while buying is just sitting in your couch and passively absorbing countless secrets that you think constitutes magic. Again, a point that I think would be made by my autistic little brother who is nonverbal and cannot speak. I realize that's redundant, but so is this fucking article. Well, then, by that case, books should also be disregarded, right? Books should also be thrown in the proverbial fire of YouTube and DVDs because you're not learning through mentorship or through the hands of somebody else. You're learning by yourself. You're reading a book. It's being expressed to you through images and words on a page. That's not some weird old man at a magic store telling you that your pinky's in the wrong place. That's not going to help you. That's not going to better your ability to become a world famous magician. But you find a point that these magicians don't complain about books. Why? Because books are traditional. Books are something that they understand. It's easy. We've always had books, but we've just recently, and I mean recently in the past 30 years, have had this new medium of video, which is what they don't understand. They don't understand the internet. They don't understand how this sort of media works, and they just want to talk against it. But if they just embraced it, we would probably have the art progressed 50 more years. Because then what are you doing? You're combining traditional values, you're combining the traditional aspect of magic tutelage and also the traditional values that were taught as a magician, and you're combining that with the technology of 2020 as opposed to sticking through your fucking morals of 1912 and trying to retroactively complain about everything that's taking place around you. I think this might be the most stupid point in the entirety of the article. Here, he says in New York, the Yellow Pages listed 16 magic shops in 1960, but just 3 in 2003. Now there are only 2. Phantasma and Tannins, says George Schindler, the Dean of the Society of American Magicians. 16 magic shops in 1960 and just 3 by 2003. You know what we also have less of? Tuberculosis. And I love his mention of the Yellow Pages. Even in 2012, that was an antiquated concept. It's the equivalent of Andrew Dice Clay bringing up that bit about call waiting in 2015. And you wonder, well, yeah, I don't think that's a thing anymore, Andrew. Maybe you should take that out of your set. No, it's still in there. Here's another fun little quip from the article here where it says kids don't read books anymore. They just watch DVDs or download effects from websites like Penguin Magic and Theory. The problem is they don't think about presentation, he said after showing me a series of card tricks. The effects I just did, for example, took me nearly 8 months of practice to master. What? Are you fucking retarded? What's that even mean? So you start off by mentioning the fact that kids don't read books anymore. Then you dismiss the notion of DVDs and downloads from Penguin Magic and Theory 11. And then you mention on not thinking about presentation. And then you talk about practice. You've said a lot of words, but I don't think you know the meaning to them. Now, this isn't the author speaking. This is a magician that he interviewed at Phantasma Magic. However, I still think it's a retarded point to make and a retarded point to include in your article, as if that adds credence to your particular case. Here's another fun one. I started by learning from YouTube and it messed up all my future performance, Vlad Verba said, while cutting a deck in his right hand. I'm a righty, so I have to hold the deck in my left hand. I didn't know that, and I learned all the sleights using the wrong hand. I had to start over after I came here. I'm sure that wasn't necessarily the video. It might have just been your inherent retardation. Now, the article goes on and talks about different anecdotes and different magicians. They even ask Penguin Magic themselves about the benefits of videos and that particular medium. But the point of the article is that he says internet's killing magic. Obviously, that was in 2012. By his logic, magic would be dead now. Magic would be long gone. But it's 2020 and we're still rocking on. We're still, I forgot the actual quote from that magician. I actually forgot his name now that I mentioned. Rock on and keep the magic strong. I forgot the name of the magician though. I forgot the name of the magician that said that. I hope you leave it in the comments below. But magic isn't dead. Magic's not going anywhere. There's still going to be ample virginity to be spread around. There's still going to be ample virgins that want to find something that makes them different than the rest of the crowd, and that's going to be magic. So don't go reposting stupid articles like that on Facebook and say, hey guys, this article came out in 2012, but it's still true to this day. You're a moron. Embrace change. Embrace the future. Embrace deodorant. And most importantly, don't be a pedophile. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a ramble, a little bit of a bit here where I talked about this particular article. If you have other stuff you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comment section below. It also tricks YouTube into thinking that this channel is actually better than it actually is. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed to my channel. I do stuff like this. I do tutorials of tricks. I have a little bit of an academy where I'm a little bit more serious about my magic that you could sign up for. Really cheap. Rave reviews all around. People keep telling me, whoa, dude, this is tremendous. Wow, man, I'm really enjoying all the content you have here. Thank you, bud. Thank you, bud. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching, man. Thank you guys for watching. It does mean a lot to me. And I hope you guys are going to have a fantastic day. I'm going to go figure out different ways to embrace the IRS. Embrace the IRS. I put a little bit of detergent. This shows you how ghetto I am. Bought a little bit of a squirt bottle, put some detergent and water in there because Febreze is about $8. This is a couple cents because of the detergent and the volume, and I'm sure you understand. And I just spray this around. And it makes everything smell like I just washed it. So Febreze, why even bother? Why even bother with Febreze, right? And people don't say that I'm black. I'm black. I'm very black. This is a very black thing to do. That's a very empowered thing, and I'm embracing it.